Okay, call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tammy has the flag on her photo. It's the only one we have, so we'll stand for that. Go ahead and get started. I pledge allegiance to
To the flag
the
of the
United States
of
of
America,
and
to the republic
for which it
which
stands, one nation,
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
I was
It
expecting
was off a
that.
little bit.
Just off. Yeah.
Little delay in the recording there, but we're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Item 3, could I have a motion for the acceptance of the meeting from March 2nd, 2020, please?
I'll
Make a
move
motion, we
to-
accept the minutes.
Oh, yeah,
Second.
yeah. Yeah, okay. Tammy, did you second that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to raise our hand, I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot to, and that was my stupid rule. So, any discussion on the minutes as written? Seeing none, all those in favor? Yeah, you want to do a roll call vote on that, David?
I would, yes.
Okay, so I'll start with Mike. Yay or nay on acceptance of the minutes as written?
Yay.
Okay. Tammy, yay or nay
Yay.
on the acceptance of the minutes? Okay.
Yay.
Dwight?
Yay.
Okay. Myself is yay, so it's unanimous. I'm gonna mess this all up. Any changes to the agenda?
I got 2 items I'd like to add on, but it'll be when we go into executive session. One's both of them are personnel.
Well,
If they don't pertain to that one executive session, we'll have to have another executive session if it's personnel.
yeah,
And if it relates to an employee, we have to give that employee a chance to be at this meeting.
No,
Okay.
not in, nope.
it doesn't pertain to an employee.
Nope.
These are making it dicey, Dwight.
Is it personnel then?
Well, one of them is, one of them I can say right now is just a new hiring. Okay, I want to discuss that tonight.
Okay.
So
I don't know how-
you're
don't
discussing
know.
the hiring process?
When we're gonna start or if we're gonna start.
You
So,
good
but
with
I
that,
don't know.
David?
Yeah.
Okay, how about the other one, Dwight? What do you got?
The other one's on a previous employee.
I'd just as soon not do that one, to be honest with you. It's something that you could handle in David's office with him.
Yeah, I could, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Tammy, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I don't think we can do that without that employee there. I just think having executive sessions that we,
Yeah, okay, so Dwight, we'll add the one for the hiring process. And we'll leave the other one off, okay?
Okay.
Come in and see me when you can, Dwight. We'll talk about it. And
Yeah.
if we can't get to the bottom of it, we'll see if we can have an executive session next meeting to discuss that.
All right.
So Glenn, do you want to put that as 9A for the one he wants, or?
Yep, let's put that 9A. Thank you, Kim. Hiring process. Okay, any other changes to the agenda? Oh, Tammy?
is that hiring process necessarily executive?
Well, I don't know the.
Yeah.
If names are going to be brought up, yes,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll let that one go. Chris, you all right with that one?
I think so.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda?
I hope everybody's got the new agenda that I sent out, the second agenda. Dwight,
Yep.
yours, I emailed you one, plus I put one in the door of your house earlier.
Yeah, why didn't you knock on the door? I'd have answered it.
Well, I
You
didn't know if
sent
you
it
was
to me.
home. I see the
Huh?
TV was on.
Yeah, Carol and I were setting up a new iPad.
Okay, we good on changes? Okay, we'll move on to item 5 was old business. We have none. New business. We need a motion to authorize the planning board to issue a building permit to Next Grid Incorporated for the purpose of constructing a 4.2 megawatt solar array at 105 Water Street. Can I have a motion, please? Tammy?
I'll make that a motion. Fine.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll
Dwight?
second it.
Okay, we
Yep.
have a second. Discussion on the motion. Okay. Seeing none, Mike Sirico, how do you vote? Yay or nay on the?
Yay.
Yay, okay. Tammy, how do you vote?
Okay,
Okay, Dwight?
Yay.
Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, that takes care of that. Anything else on that, David? We good?
We're good.
Okay, so next item is tax acquired property bids. A was tax map U08 lot 28, number 12, River Road bid, and we had one bid. See if you can see it. This is the bid. Has not been opened. Squirrel got into a corner of it, but it hasn't been opened. So I'll open that and read it. If everybody's good with that. Okay, it's got a check. I'll see you guys later. Let's see what we got.
Being paid off, huh?
Evidently.
Didn't get much.
Okay, it's, let me see, just for the record, it came in on March 31st at 8:52 a.m. It says, I would like to put a bid in on 12 River Road in Howland, Maine. My bid is $500 with the condition that I am allowed to demolition the house and bury it on site. The finished project would consist of the town water and sewer line to be capped and would combine 12 River Road and 14 River Road of Howland, Maine to become one lot. I will need this permission by April 2020 and would bring in an excavator provided by the company SOB of Howland. It is important to have this done in April as I plan on putting 14 River Road on the market to be sold. Thank you for your time. And it's signed William Griswold. I know you won't be able to see that, but that's the bid, and pass that on. So, and it is accompanied by a check for $50 made out to the town of Howland, RE 12 River Road bid. It's a check from Penobscot County Federal Credit Union signed by Kathy Long, dated March 31st, 2020. So we want to make, somebody want to make a motion to accept that bid, and we'll discuss it.
Can I ask a
Tammy?
question first?
Sure.
I thought we had that minimum bid was the tax amount.
We did.
Yep. Yeah, so with it, with it not meeting the minimum bid, we can just vote it whichever way you want to, but we should put a motion out there and then we'll discuss it.
What was the minimum bid?
Oh, good Lord. Was it
I think it was $7,100 and change.
something like that? Yeah.
Dwight?
Was that back taxes and water and sewer?
Yes.
Yes, yep.
This one is pretty cut and dried. It does not meet our minimum spec, so I'm just looking to get it off on our plate, to be honest with you. We need to do that through a formal motion. Tammy?
I move that we do not accept the one bid that we received.
Okay. Anybody want to second that? Dwight?
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion to not accept the bid Is there discussion on the motion? Dwight?
Before I got done in the hardware store, he come over and see me and asked me if there was any way we could drop that price. And I was pretty sure it was for back taxes and water and sewer, so I told him that it was probably gonna be pretty hard to do that because we owe this to the taxpayers of the town.
Mhm.
And his concern was that of all the amount of trash and everything that's in the house, that he's gonna have to hire a dumpster and clean it out before he can even demo it. And then it's gonna, by the time he puts what we're asking for a minimum bid on it, by the time he pays for a dumpster, then the exit, and then the having it torn down, he was looking at, between $12,000 and $15,000 to do all this. And he doesn't see a big return on his money. I just wanted to bring that up to let you know that him and I had discussed it a little bit, but I told him to put whatever he wanted in for a bid, but I didn't expect it to be that low. So,
Anybody else for discussion on the motion? Mike?
Yeah, I'd like to see us get rid of that, but he's gonna combine 2 lots into one. That's gonna increase the value quite a lot, as I'm concerned, with that house there. And it will be a double lot, basically, for the town, so I don't know what the property value is on that, but it must be, what, $15,000 to $20,000 just property value, isn't it?
I wouldn't dare to speculate without having Kim look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd have to pull that property card.
Yeah, well, my concern with a lot with water and sewer on it, because I know the one I've got's valued at 10,000, so that's a bigger lot there.
Mhm.
So it's gotta be higher than that.
Yep. Any more discussion on the motion to not accept the bid? All those in favor of the motion? Mike? Yay or nay?
Yay.
Excuse me. Okay, Tammy, yay or nay?
Yay on not accepting,
Right, that's the motion. Yep,
correct.
yep. Dwight?
yeah, nay.
Nay would be to, we made that motion in the negative. So yay would be to accept the motion to not accept the bid. Nay would be to not accept the motion to not accept the bid. If you get all that. So your vote was to not accept the motion to not
No,
accept the
excuse me,
bid.
no, yay. I'm
So
sorry.
you want yay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yep. So that passes unanimous. Motion's is denied. The motion passes, the bid is denied. Do you want to talk about what to do with that property now, or do you want to do some research and get a property value and get back to it at the next meeting? Mike?
I was wondering, we've negotiated in the past if he would be negotiable in working with that water and sewer bill.
My only concern, and you guys can call it, but my only concern is we put a minimum bid and we did not receive that. If we were going to accept less than the minimum bid, there could have been other prospective bidders, that didn't bid.
Okay,
So rather than negotiate, I'd be more comfortable putting it back out. If you want to reduce the minimum bid or eliminate the minimum bid, we can do that. Or we can hold it for a little bit and get back to it once we've thought about it a little bit more. Dwight?
I would be more in favor of maybe possibly sitting down and looking at what we could do to maybe reduce it a little bit, to put it back out for another minimum bid, see what we get any responders that way. Off either taxes or water and sewer bills before.
Mhm.
Maybe we can look at it, how we can, maybe we can write off a water bill and lower it down a little bit, and keep the sewer bill along with the taxes. I think we ought to keep what the taxes are gonna be. you know, because that's already accrued expense and stuff like that. I mean, that's money that he owes the town.
Yeah.
There's really no way we can go after Marshall on this either, is there? Where we already foreclosed on it?
I don't think so.
No, I think it's a done deal. I mean, the town owns it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Tammy, how do you feel? Would you like to hold off and get a little more information, then we'll
Yeah,
regroup? and-
absolutely.
Okay.
I see Mike's point on that potentially being more text-based. I do know one thing, that Marshall should have gone into the town years ago to reduce that text bill,
Mhm.
and he didn't.
Mhm.
So there's a little wiggle room in my brain anyway, but I think we should find out what the property value is. I almost think I know, but, and maybe renegotiate or look at it over, bring it back, and we can
Yep,
do what we
okay.
want to do.
Mike, do you
I
feel the
mean,
same
somebody
way?
else might have wanted to put a bid in for 600, you know?
Right, that's my concern, where we put the minimum and we didn't receive it.
Right.
Now, let me ask you a question. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, that would be good, as far as I'm concerned, to try to look it over and see what we can do to work with it. Would it be still possible, where we do have this individual interested, to reframe back to him to get his opinion, or just work it out and put it right out to bid for everyone again?
Well, if we're gonna, if we're gonna take the minimum bid out or reduce it or something, we need to put it back out fairly for anybody that's interested.
Right.
To put in a bid. So I think, and possibly if we're gonna really talk strategy on that property, we may want to do an executive session and come up with what we want to do and then put it back out. So, I think we're all in favor of just moving this to, we didn't accept the bid, so we can move it to another time, another meeting, and we'll discuss it. If everybody's okay with that, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will make sure that this all gets back in your office, David.
Okay.
Very soon. Not enough money to get me very far, so put that away. Now, we also had, we had tax map U09 lot 62 South Street. We received no bids. So when we discuss the first bid that we rejected, we might as well figure out what we're going to do with that at the same time, and then probably put them both back out to bid, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing everybody nodding their head, so, yeah, looks like we're good. So you all set with that, David?
I am, yep.
Okay, so we'll move on to item 8, which is a manager's report, and I'll just turn that right over to you, David.
Okay, a couple things we have to just talk about tonight. As you know, we've got some lights out on Kings Bridge, plus we've got several lights out in the Rotary. It's been out for quite a while. I talked with Commonwealth Electric. They've provided a quote for replacing the bulbs and the ballast for the lights in the traffic circle and the bridge, $3,800. Now, I don't think it's just the bulbs, because I was over there the other night, and some of the lights in the roundabout or the traffic circle actually come on, and they'll stay on for 15, 20 seconds, and then they'll go right back out. So it's either the ballast or the photo wire. Something's bad in them lights in some of them. But that's the price I got right there from Commonwealth Electric. It's $3,800.
Okay. Where would we pull the money from for that, or are you looking to do it for the next fiscal year?
If we did it out of the next fiscal year, I mean, that would be July 1st.
Yeah.
They've been out for a while now anyway, so I don't think it'd be an issue if we waited.
Okay.
We might be able to pull that money out of the street light account where we went to LED lights. I'm
Right.
thinking we're gonna save some money there, so.
So would you like to wait on that and maybe get a handle on billing and what's available for money, and then maybe we'll bring it back up and you can come with a recommendation where to pull the money out of, or
Yeah.
something you need to handle right now, or?
I'm good with leaving them out for now. I mean, they've been out since I started here, so.
Yeah.
That was one of the things, I mean, I had a hard job to find somebody that could work on them. Carmel Electric doesn't have a lift truck either. So some of that cost is them renting a lift to get up there to change them lights.
Yeah. Okay, so you, Dwight?
The only thing is, if we continue to wait, what is their availability gonna be in July or in August? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, they may, where they're not really overly busy, not a whole lot of major projects have gone out to bid yet, they may be using this as a tie over. I mean, I
Yep.
just don't wanna, I mean, David and I talked about this before, you know, renting one of them bucket truck is not gonna be cheap, so, at first I thought it was a little high, but then we got to talk about the bucket truck and, you know, that could be a pretty good cost. That's probably gonna be right in the ballpark with anybody else anyway, so.
Anybody else have an opinion?
I think we have a total of 7 lights that are out.
Where the
Well,
rest?
I saw Mike first. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, where are the others? Lights that are out.
No, there's 7 all combined on the new bridge. We got 1 on the Kings Bridge and the traffic circle. It's like 7 of them in total.
Yeah, right. But I thought you said there's more out.
Oh, no. We have a total of, I think there's 7 of them.
Okay.
Tammy?
Well, the King's Bridge, those lights have only been on, what, less than a year?
Yeah.
I mean, because it took forever to get them
Yeah.
turned on. So that's
Right.
kind of interesting that didn't last very long. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of curious about that.
Well, I think
Another thing too, Dale King does have a bucket truck. I'm not saying we want him or he don't, but
yeah,
He's not licensed to do that.
okay.
Yeah, I think the town of Howland has kind of fallen victim of a dispute between the contractor and the state of Maine is kind of where we're at. That's why it took so long to get them on. There's an issue there, but my
They didn't
my
last very
biggest
long.
concern, I guess, is just the money. You know, where to take the money out of right now. I'm thinking if we can hold off till the next fiscal year, like Dave said, July 1, we may have a better handle on the bill, and we may be able to find the money a little easier. But, Mike?
Yeah, I guess my biggest concern, though, be right there right now, with that being a fairly hefty bid, is if we do find the money and we go ahead and we do this, but yet 6 months from now, we find out there's an existing problem somewhere else pertaining to the wiring system going to each one of these.
Mhm.
Because they've been nothing but a pain in the butt since they've been up there.
Has
Well, if we-
Enfield experienced it on their end with the lights?
Who?
Enfield, on their half, have they had any issues with their lights?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And we've had the same issue with the same light over there, haven't we? That second light.
It's a second light going across the bridge.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times it's been replaced before I come, so I don't know.
I thought we
It
had
hasn't.
it. I thought we had that down once or twice before already.
Yeah, I in my memory says once, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it being done, but I thought that we had addressed that once.
Pretty sure we did when Wilson was here, right after we tried to get things going there.
Well, I guess it's up to you guys if you want to have David move forward with it and or put it off until we get a better handle on the money situation. Mike?
Yeah, I'd like to just put that into a motion that we postpone until we get a better outlook on things here.
Okay. Somebody want to second that? Tammy?
I'll second it.
Yeah, okay, so we have a
Amy
motion
did.
to Yeah, we have a motion by Mike and a second by Tammy to delay the repair of the streetlights that are out. Is there any discussion on that motion, Tammy?
I'd like to see if there's any kind of warranty on that, especially that bridge light. 'Cause it's only been up there, it's only been on a short time.
Yep.
I don't know if
Okay.
we have any paperwork on that or not, but
I think that
Um,
makes good sense, you know. David knows the state inspector, who was one that actually authorized David Wilson to flip the switch, so maybe that'd be a place to start, to research what you just said.
I will check tomorrow if I can find out what it is for light and if there is any warranty on it. I do know
you.
AD Electric installed them lights, am I correct?
yeah,
I
Okay.
believe so, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I can call down to AD Electric anyways and find out what that is for light, what the warranty is on them.
Okay,
It's kind of a, AD Electric, I mean, sometimes they're very busy and it takes them a long time to get back to you. I've dealt with them because they deal with signal lights too. So,
Yeah.
but I'll keep you guys posted on what I find out on them lights.
yeah, good. I sent him an email 2 years ago. I'm still waiting, but anyway. And any more discussion on the motion to postpone the repair of the streetlights? Okay, I'll ask for a vote. Mike, how do you vote, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay.
Tammy,
Yay.
yay or nay? Yay?
Yay.
Yeah, Dwight?
Nay.
Nay, so you don't want to hold off. Okay, so guess what I got to do? I vote in the affirmative. My vote will be yay, so motion carries with one opposed. Okay. Okay, David, it's back to you.
Just want to let you guys know, that during this shutdown where we couldn't have a meeting, I did sign the 2020 Maine Department of Environmental Protection Infrastructure grant for the upgrades to the pump stations. This is for that first $100,000 out of that $129,187 project for the pump stations, upgrading that to a SCADA system. So that's been signed and returned to Maine DEP. The next one, as you know, Northeast Paving has requested to use the tannery site for 2 office trailers and storage of millings. They're gonna be doing a job on I-95. They'd like to use that site from May through October. And in return, they'd actually pave the road going into the Veterans Park in the Memorial parking lot for $8,600.
Okay, I know that there was a little discussion. Does anybody want to talk about that situation? Mike?
I'm beginning to show up too much on this thing. I was talking to Dave earlier, and my thoughts were it would be nice, yes, to have that paved, looking nice, but you know, that money with the problems that's been biting us on the butt for the last 2 or 3 years in public works with the equipment, I think would be better served to go over in that department so that we can hopefully prepare ourselves for having to buy a piece of equipment.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on that situation? Tammy?
everybody knows how I feel. I emailed.
Yep.
My biggest concern is that we spent a good deal of money on a beautiful plan.
Mhm.
And even though that we haven't had anybody jump out to buy it, we still have this vision. And if we, in my opinion, muck it up with this construction site, it's not going to be very good looking for anybody to see what it could be. I did ask David a couple of questions this week just to find out what it would cost if we were to, how many tons in that driveway and parking lot. Because I don't think that's it doesn't sound like a great deal to me. They want to use this, muck it up, bring in all this equipment and all this mess, and then we still got to pay them. So I don't know, David.
I did figure that up today, Tammy. If we was to pave the road going in that parking lot And if hot top was $80 a ton, which it probably is going to be, it would be just around $20,000, give or take a few $100s.
How many?
20,000. And
Okay.
that's with 2 inches of 12-5 mix, and that's what they said they would do for us.
Mhm. Okay. Um, So we would get a relatively great deal on that parking lot, but we still have to pay the money. We also have money in our budget to clean that area up. Hiring maybe a caretaker or groundskeeper. What would we need that for if that mess was over there?
Well, my thought on it would be that the millings would be piled on an already, gravel, semi-dirt, semi-gravel base. I mean, we have the footprint of the old tannery over there that's got some decent gravel on it. We ended up dumping some snow and sand on top of the footprint, unfortunately, so that sand will infiltrate that gravel somewhat, but the majority of the millings will be dumped on that type of base. And the beautification part of it, or where the to me anyway, where the groundskeeper would come in would be the perimeter of that lot, which would still be accessible, during that time that it was being used. And as far as the hot topping, that was part of the master plan also, was to get that hot topped. And so, I mean, it's up to you guys, whatever you think. I'm just kind of throwing this stuff out there that, if we could come up with the money to get that done, during that time period, I think it is a very good deal. It's a very reputable company, so we don't have to worry about the quality of the work, and they're going to put their best foot forward because of the use of that Veterans Park. And possibly we could have construction going on right there in that immediate area anyway, if the municipal building gets up and going. So, I mean, it would kind of all tie together. I don't know that people would be completely offended by the looks of that park. You're right, Tammy, if somebody came in and said, hey, look, I want to buy this thing and I want to buy it, in August, and we have 15 to 20,000 yards of millings on it, they'd have to wait. So, you can kind of play it either way. I could see doing it. I would be able to justify voting to do that. But like I say, I'm not going to drive a stake in the ground. I leave it up to you guys. Do you have any comment on that, please?
I think it's a good deal. If they, like David and I had discussed there earlier when he first mentioned to me, possibly that we may get some grindings out of this and stuff, I mean, that's that we could possibly use Ontario Street or any other street that's going to have some ditches on it, that could use this stuff. I don't know. I then again, I can see Tammy's point of view, where it's, it could put a sore eye on, or a sore spot in some people's eye, I should say, as far as that going to be there, but it's only a temporary deal. It's only May to October. If somebody does want to buy it, and they got to get in there sooner, then we'll have to talk it over with Northeast Paving and see if they can move out any quicker or whatever. But I think it's a worthwhile attempt.
Yeah. David, did you? Yeah, go ahead.
I do, and I just want to touch on something that Dwight said about the millings. Their plan right now, Dwight, will be to take the millings back off that site when they get ready to, when they're done with it. The millings would be, the millings would be taken to Bangor and added into some hot top mix that they sell somewhere.
Okay. Because when we talked, we wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do, Mike? Thank you for raising your hand.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be in favor of that. The only thing I'd like to see is that we make sure we have a contract. We don't be slack on contracts what we've been in the past. And Dave has been this Dave has been very good about being adamant about contract language and see to it that it is a binding thing that will be cleaned up at a specific date. If not, there's be a hefty amount of money reimbursed to the town.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Mike. You know, to have some contractual language as to how that site is left, and with the value of those millings, I don't think. I mean, it's not like they're going to be hauling in a bunch of other undesirable material. That those millings are kind of highly sought after because they have another use. So I would assume that they will probably scrape up every bit that they could, but we certainly want contractual language as to how we want that site left. We want a start date, we want an end date, so that we get control of that lot back when we need it. So, Tammy, do you have your hand up?
Well, one other point for me was, when we told the trust company that we weren't interested in that kind of business, because it didn't fit our vision. So I know it's temporary, but I'm gonna stick to not wanting to do that. Not let alone, we have in the works and plans to have another bonfire event and potential farmers market getting big. They might want to move over there for the weekend kind of thing too. They might be able, that might be a thing that they might want to do because they were getting pretty big last year. So I'm just going to stick to my point of view.
Yeah.
And thanks for hearing it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
Well,
did everybody have a chance to review Tom's email that I forwarded on? Tom DeCoste?
yeah, I did. Yes.
Okay, okay.
As far as the trust, Tammy, I just wanted to put this out there. They were looking to own it, and their only vision was to pile trusses there in the foreseeable future. So this is a little different use. In the farmers market, I have tried for 2 years to convince them that across the road would be better because of more land, and they like that location where they are. And what I talked to Dave about a little bit today is, and I've been talking about it for a few years, over where they're located, close to the Dr. Nesson, the Bukad Nesson sign, there's a very low wet area there. It's been there for a long time. And I'd like to have that filled in and make it a parking lot, because when there's Little League games and stuff there, I see that parking lot is filled up. The side of the road is full. They park across in the tannery lot too. So if we added on to that parking lot, that would give the farmers market more room there, and it would, serve the games and things better also. So just put that out there, but I understand your position. So we're gonna have to bring this to a vote, I guess. David, do you want to do that?
I'd like to, just want to have it clear to go forward or not.
Yeah. Okay. So I need somebody to make a motion to allow Northeast Paving to use that site from May to October
Yep.
to pile up to 20,000 yards in with a contract as to how it's going to be managed. Anybody like to make that a motion? Dwight?
I'll make that a motion that we allow Northeast Paving to use the tannery site to store millings from May to April with a contract and how it's to be left. And the Veterans Memorial parking lot and drive will be paved.
Okay, yeah. You said May to April. You mean May to October?
I mean, May to October.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there a second on that motion?
I'll
Okay,
second
Mike.
that, but I'd like to stay with what he said first, made up April.
Yeah,
I'll go for that.
it's hard to end before you start, but we might be able to pull it off. Okay, so Okay, we do have a motion to allow Northeast Paving to use the tannery site from May to October. Is there any more discussion or any discussion on the motion? Tammy?
I just wanna, you might wanna edit that because we have to pay $8,600 to pave that. It's not free. He didn't put that in his motion.
Yep, good point.
I'll amend my motion to pay $8,600 to pay for the paving.
Second.
Yeah, you still good with the second on that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Tammy. Any more discussion on the motion? Okay, so I'll call a roll call vote. All those in favor, Mike Sirico, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay.
Okay. Tammy, yay or nay on the motion?
Nay.
Okay. Dwight, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay.
Okay, I'm voting yay also, so that would be 3-4 and 1 opposed. Motion carries.
I will let them know in the morning of the decision, so. And also we'll start on a contract.
Okay.
The next one is surplus equipment. I'm kind of looking to see what we'd like to do with the old tandem Ford wheeler that we have and the dump body that was returned. Kind of looking what you guys like to do with them.
Okay, Mike?
Let's put them out for bid and get rid of it.
Okay, I guess at this point, if that's the way we're gonna go, Tammy, would you take this? I'd like to abstain from this item. If you'd take over for me, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so, it was Mike's comment to put it out for bid and get rid of both, was both pieces, right?
It was
We
two pieces,
have-
yes. It's a truck, and the truck with the sander would go along with it, because we don't have anything that the sander would fit in now. It's a bigger sander. So let's get rid of the truck, the sander, and the old dump body that was returned.
Should we put Glenn into the closet so we can talk about this better?
Glenn, I'm gonna send you to the,
Yeah, exactly. Send me to the waiting room. Perfect,
Sending
David.
you away, Glenn.
That's fine. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I have no concept of what this stuff is worth or anything. And I appreciate Glenn getting out of here for that because he may or may not want to bid on it. So should we have a minimum bid or anything? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, is that a stainless sander, Dave?
it
You'll
is.
have you'll have a better idea as far as where we could have a minimum bid on that.
I will tell you guys right now, the truck has got an awful noise in the motor. I went over there when it first malfunctioned, and I could see a guy putting $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 in that truck pretty easy, and that's just engine wise. And you still got a tired truck, so I don't know, the body that's sitting on the ground, the one we took off the Sterling truck, that's probably got a scrap value of a couple $100 at today's prices. That wheeler, I'm guessing $3,000 or $4,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Not a lot to it.
But a stainless
But
sander.
it's
probably have the
yeah,
most
but
value.
it's 20-something years old, I think, that sander. So
Yeah.
it's got an old gearbox. The bearing's been replaced. I don't know about the sander chain. It's old.
So maybe we're looking somewhere between 4,000 to 6,000 minimum bid.
Yeah. The right person that has that truck, a truck similar to that, I mean, you've got the rear ends that are good. There's several things on that truck that's good, but you got to find somebody with that truck that's looking to buy one.
What do you think, Dwight?
The 10. David, is this a 10-wheeler?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay. And we got no use at all for that sander?
No.
Yeah, I
If
agree
you-
with Mike. Let's put it out to bid.
If you wanted to put that sander in the new wheeler, you'd have to replumb that whole truck to be able to feed the hydraulics to the rear of it instead of at the front, where the body is. So that would be quite a little investment right there on our behalf.
Well, we got quite a system on that new truck anyway. I don't think we want to mess with that anyway.
So should we put it out to bid as a minimum bid or?
I would,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say yes, and I guess let's maybe $4,500. How's that sound? And with competition, maybe we might get 2 or 3 bids on it with a little bit higher than that.
Let's try it the first time around for $6,000.
Okay,
And then if nobody bites on it, we'll go back out and with a minimum bid of $4,500.
fair enough.
Do we need a motion for that or are we all right with just?
No, we're all set with it because we do have that surplus property disposal policy. So we're okay with this and so, okay.
All right, very good. Bring him back.
I will bring Glenn back in.
Hello.
Yep. That's it. We're back on, we're on number 9 now, Glenn.
Okay. Just reading the good book there. Okay. Item 9 is need a motion to go into executive session, Title 1, MRS 405, 6D, contract discussions. Tammy,
So move.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Dwight has a second. All those in favor? Mike, how do you vote?
Okay.
Okay, Tammy,
Yay.
how do you vote? Okay, Dwight, how do you vote?
Yay.
Okay, we are in executive session. I'd ask the manager to turn off the recorder at this time, and we'll go into executive session.
And
I'm gonna
put the
book
people
Kim
out.
and Chris in a waiting room.
We're on timeout.
Wait just a minute, Josh.
Okay.
Did
Hi.
Okay, hello. Okay, we're back in regular session.
yeah, Chris, are you with us?
I am here.
Perfect. Okay, so we are back in regular session. Following that executive session, a motion would be in order. If I could get one, please.
Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
All right, I didn't have that. No, you're
can
fine.
repeat. I
Pick
can
up.
repeat that, Kim, if you want me
No.
to.
You're all set.
Oh, okay, Tammy.
I would like to make an motion to allow Chief McNally to enter into a contract agreement with the town of Burlington in regards to Burlington Fire and EMS, or fire and ambulance.
Okay, is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay, Dwight Dawson seconds it. Okay, I'll open it up for discussion. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote. Tammy, how do you vote, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay, yay on the motion.
Okay, Dwight, how do you vote, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay.
Mike, how do you vote, yay or nay on the motion?
Yay.
Okay, and I vote yay also, so it's unanimous to allow the chief to enter into a contract with Burlington Fire and Ambulance. On to item 9A, which is, Dwight?
I'd like to withdraw my request for executive session after thinking about it.
Okay. David, just so you know, my internet connection said unstable, like me.
Okay,
I don't know if you missed any part of that or,
no, I got everything.
yeah. Okay, so just understand, Dwight, correctly, you're withdrawing your request for that executive
Yes.
session. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
very good. Yep. Okay, so, item 10 would be, a fire department update by Chief McNally, if he has anything.
If you guys have any questions in regards to the COVID-19 and so forth, I can try to get you up to speed or fill you in on where we're at with stuff. I've been trying to forward stuff along as I know things, but if you have any questions, I would say shoot.
How you doing, Josh, with getting PPE?
We're doing okay. We've had quite a turnout from the public. There's been people that I don't even recognize that have stopped and had supplies laying around their home or different things they thought that we could use. So it's been fabulous. It's the little town thing, they always come out to help you. So that's been good. We've been keeping a tally. So we've got a spreadsheet now, and I've been sending it to David to see where we're at with some of that. The feds have come through with some stuff, not a lot of stuff, but we are getting some supplies in. We've changed how we're doing business here, just to try to go a step above and beyond to keep everybody safe. So whether it be the patient that doesn't have COVID that now we're transporting into a hospital that they then could be exposed and that sort of thing. We've tried to think of some out of the box stuff, how to protect ourselves. So we can't really get our hands on gowns right now like we'd like. So we've purchased rain suits. It kind of looks funny, but I think that gives us a level of protection better than the hospital gowns even. It's something that we can decon when we get back to the station and so forth. So the cleaning supplies we've had a hard time with. We've had to switch to bleach, which is pretty hard on some of our equipment, but nevertheless, that's what we're doing to decon all the equipment and the ambulances and so forth. So the masks, we had Holly Dyer research how to make a mask that is somewhere equivalent to what people believe the N95 protects you from, so 95% particulate. And so we've purchased a bunch of stuff from her. I think it's awesome because she's local and does sewing for us anyway. So we've done that. We've even had folks that they must reside in this area and then winter in Florida, because we've got 2 different packages from what was the name of the community? Zephyr Hills or something, some retirement community down there, folks making masks for us. So they must have seen our post looking for surgical masks and that sort of thing. So we're putting a surgical mask on every single patient, no matter what their complaint. And that way it's going to protect them from being outside of their home and in the outside environment. So that's the level that we've gone. We've been doing phone conferences weekly with Maine EMS, and the other one was the local hospital. So we've done some call-ins with, we've got a group going with Health Access, us, and PVH. So just trying to communicate with each other where we're all at. But the PPE thing, we're not as bad off as what I thought we were going to be when we started all of this. So.
Anybody have anything else for Chief McNally? Questions, comments? Mike?
Yeah, Josh, I'd just like to ask you a simple question. You getting your wall all washed down, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else for the chief, or anything the chief would like to tell the manager or the board? Yeah, look at him.
No, I'd like to personally thank you guys for being out in this. Whether it's around here or not, we don't know, but you have to, you're on the front lines really. So I'd like to thank you guys for that.
I think the whole community would like to thank you, Josh, for that.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
very, very good point. Very good point. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else? If not, I'll ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, Dwight,
I make a motion we adjourn.
okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mike seconds it. All those in favor of the motion? Okay, motion carries. We are in adjournment. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, see you guys later.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait, one last thing. David Lloyd isn't wearing pants.
I am too. Look, I have pants on.
Oh, my God. We gotta get out of